I like mystery stories. Love Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot, because there usually is a scientific angle to the mysteries. I also like Lord Peter Wimsey. He's not quite as famous as the others. He was Dorothy Sayers' classic detective. He was a gentleman, and he, quote, liked to look into queer things. Well, I really loved one of the stories where he looked into a queer thing, and that was the incredible elopement of Lord Peter Wimsey. And believe it or not, it's a story about a thyroid gland. There's a lady who suffers from thyroid insufficiency, and that can put you into an altered mental state. And her husband wants to do away with her. So he takes away her medicine, thyroxine, which is the thyroid hormone. And she becomes flighty, and the people in the town where she is, in this Basque village, think that she is bewitched. Lord Peter hears about this and wants to rescue her. He has a scheme, and he puts it into practice when the husband goes away to America for a trip, having left behind the housekeeper with his wife with instructions that she was not to see anyone at all. Lord Peter has to convince her to allow him to give the thyroxine. So he comes to the Basque village and he dresses up as a wizard. And he figures that he has to somehow convince the villagers that the wizard can do wonderful things. And maybe then she will allow him to see the lady and administer the thyroxine. So how does he do this? He does a number of magic tricks to try to convince the people that he has these powers. Let me show you one of the ones that he did. I think my wizard here, though, needs a little bit of help for this. This was the amazing magic kettle that he demonstrated, which would dispense any kind of fluid that you wanted. Someone said, "Can I have some cherry drink?" Well, yeah, that would happen. Someone else would say, "Gee, I think I would rather have some beer." That would happen. And if someone said, "Gee, I think I would go for some absinthe," well, then that would happen as well. The villagers were convinced that this guy had magic power, and he was able to convince the housekeeper to allow the lady to come to the room that he had rented so that he could treat her magically and take away the spell that the people thought that she was under. And the housekeeper bought into this, that he had magical abilities, and he brought the lady. And he said, "Well, I'm going to take this lady and invite her into this cabinet that I have here, because that's where I will administer the cure," and she agreed to that. So the wizard with the lady went into the cabinet. There was a puff of smoke, and they disappeared, because this was a magical cabinet. Actually, in the story, he even refers to David Devant, who was the dean of magicians in England at that time. And he was, in fact, a magic apparatus constructor too, and he built these illusions where people vanished. So that's how she was rescued and eventually restored to good health with the thyroxine. But I'm sure that you're interested in how this was done. So let me let you in on that secret. This is indeed a magic kettle. And in order to produce all of these beautiful colors, you need something in there that will produce those colors. So all you need is some sort of material that will release all of these wonderful colors. Isn't that amazing? Go and read The Incredible Elopement of Lord Peter Wimsey.